but someone will choose if you will live or die. And what if that someone was your mother? Every year there are 1.37 million abortions in the United States, and that is approximately 2,700 a day. Almost 1 out of every 4 American babies are aborted. This comes from the website abortionno.org. Most abortions are performed between 6 to 12 weeks gestation, which is the period from conception. However, some abortions are still performed through the 3rd trimester. You must understand that life begins at conception. I will discuss at what point the fetus is like an actual baby. I will be discussing why abortion is wrong, and I will also discuss some effects abortion has on the mother. I will begin with discussing the developmental stages of the fetus. At just 3 weeks gestation, the fetus, the neural tube is developed, which is where the brain and spinal cord form, and the brain appears. At 4 weeks, the heart pumps blood, and the eyes and ears are formed. At 6 weeks gestation, the fetus is moving around in the uterus. And here is this picture of a fetus at 6 weeks. If you want to pass that around, you can already see some little characteristics of a human being. At 8 weeks, it has full characteristics of a human being. And the sex organs have formed. 10 to 12 weeks gestation, you can hear the heartbeat with the Doppler device. At 20 weeks is the age of viability, which means the baby is able to live outside the womb. At 25 weeks gestation, the fetus has a schedule of sleeping and moving around in the uterus. And at 29 weeks gestation, the fetus has assumed the position, the cephalic position with its head down in the uterus. 38 to 40 weeks is considered full term. All of this comes from the Introduction to Maternity and Pediatric Nursing, 5th edition. So let's discuss why abortion is wrong. The Bible shows us that God is aware of life in the womb even before conception. Psalm 139:13 through 16 says, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book, before one of them came to be." Jeremiah 1:5 in the Holy Bible says, "Before you were formed, I knew you in the womb. Before you were born, I set you apart." Psalm 103 in the Holy Bible says, "Know that the Lord is God. It is He who made us, and we are His. We are His sheep. We are the sheep of His pasture." In Proverbs 31:8 in the Holy Bible, it says, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute." Exodus 20:13 in the Holy Bible is one of the 10 Commandments, which says, "You shall not murder." In 2004, in the state of California, Scott Peterson, known to some as the baby killer, was convicted of 2 counts of murder in the deaths of his wife, Lacey, and his unborn son, Connor Peterson. With that decision made, it goes to prove that an unborn baby is a human being, and killing one is considered murder. Now let's talk about the effects abortion has on the mother. Physical problems from abortion can include hemorrhage, infection, sterility, and even death. The risk of breast cancer almost doubles after one abortion and rises even further with 2 or more abortions. This is from afterabortion.org. Abortion is associated with cervical and uterine damage, which may increase the risk of premature delivery, complications of labor, and abnormal development of the placenta in later pregnancies. These reproductive complications are the leading causes of handicapped newborns. Teenagers account for 30% of all abortions, and they are at a much higher risk of suffering abortion-related complications, including long-term reproductive damage. This is from afterabortion.org. Psychological effects can include depression, mental trauma, to divorce and suicide. These effects are so well documented, they have been given a name: post-abortion syndrome, or PAS. Symptoms of PAS are recurrent memories, dreams of the abortion experience, avoidance of emotional attachment, relationship problems, sleep disturbance, guilt, memory impairment, hostile outbursts, and substance abuse. These symptoms can occur right after the abortion. However, most do not occur until months or even years later. This is from afterabortion.org. In 2005, I suffered a miscarriage. As a result, I had to have a DNC, which is a dilation and curettage. This is a procedure used for abortions and in some circumstances a miscarriage. The doctor uses a special instrument that he inserts into the cervix and dilates the cervix. Then he scrapes the lining of the uterus to clean out the remains of the fetus at that stage. This still brings back recurrent memories to me, and I would never choose to do that to a baby. I personally know a girl who has had several abortions, and she is suffering many complications, including substance abuse, guilt, relationship problems, and some health-related problems as well. A fetus is not just a bunch of cells like pro-choice people believe. The fetus has a heartbeat at just 4 weeks gestation. And that's probably before you even know you're pregnant. Abortion has long-lasting side effects that can scar you permanently, physically, and mentally. In closing, if you ever experience an unplanned pregnancy or consider abortion, I urge you to consider the alternatives to abortion. There are so many loving families out there that cannot have children or just want to adopt a child to give it all the love it deserves. Life is a gift from God. It should be cherished, it should be nourished, and it should be protected. As Sarah Palin once said, every baby is created with a future and potential. And here are 2 of my 3 children. One of them couldn't be here tonight because she was at gymnastics. Zane and Maddox, and God has truly blessed me with my children that I couldn't imagine life without them. They just bring a smile to my face every day, and they're just wonderful.